Jersey. You're actually going,
yeah,
right?
I'll be there tonight, so excited. Because we get the only thing that has so far been announced is the Intercontinental Championship match. It's The Miz versus Dean Ambrose.
That will be the main event, I'm assuming.
More than likely.
Because it's the number one title on the show.
Yeah. Well, right now.
Yeah.
I mean, until... We'll get onto that to Brock Lesnar in a little
Raw
bit. Raw
is slacking, in my opinion.
Yeah, Raw is definitely not as good as SmackDown right now. I mean, Raw has so many talented people, and in my opinion, if you look at it, their roster is better.
It's debatable.
I think that if given to work at the maximum potential that they could work at, I think it's better. Well, that's just me. And that's going with me saying my favorite wrestlers right now are Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens. I might say AJ Styles too, all three. Well, I like Finn Balor a lot too, and Seth Rollins. But three of my top five, I would say, are probably on SmackDown, and I think SmackDown has a better roster still.
Yeah, and the SmackDown has the luxury of only being 2 hours. For these guys to fill up 3 hours, to me that's a disadvantage.
Universal Champion right now.
Yeah, and now without Braun Strowman, who was super hot, and he was probably the reason why I liked watching Raw. Was Braun Strowman's destruction.
Yeah.
So is Roman Reigns still playing the injury angle? He's kind of beat up?
I don't know what you do now. I really don't.
What does he do? Who does he go up against? Who's the other heel? Who's the main heel on Raw?
Don't know.
Not the Miz, because he's kind of in this Intercontinental picture.
Well, the only if they had let's just say
turn Roman heel, man.
I mean, they should turn Roman heel, but. I mean, they could now start promoing for if they wanted to put him up against Brock Lesnar. I really hope they don't do that.
I think they're holding on to that for a bigger pay-per-view. I know they're holding on to that for WrestleMania. I hope not, but that's the plan.
I just hope that Lesnar doesn't hold the title till WrestleMania.
I don't either, especially with his lack of appearances.
It'll be literally a wasted year at that point.
Yeah. There's nobody really heel ability for Roman Reigns to go up against.
Yeah.
You could do a face versus face match, maybe him versus Balor, him versus Rollins, or maybe team up him and Rollins.
They could do that, actually. That might work.
But who do they go up against?
They could put him in the tag team division. But I think those guys are just such big stars, they wouldn't want to put him in the tag
Who's
team division.
Who's the tag team champs right now?
Hardys.
Yeah, I don't see them in the tag team division. Yeah, they're too big of stars to be in that division. Yeah, there's nobody for Roman to go up against. So either we have a face versus face, maybe a Roman versus Seth would be cool, or Roman versus Balor would be awesome.
Yeah.
Or turn him heel.
The last match they had, Roman
great.
and Finn, was amazing. That was such
right
a good
before
match.
Roman got suspended.
Yeah.
For doing the steroids. Allegedly.
No, it wasn't. It was synthetic marijuana. Because
was it?
Yes. Here's a weird thing about the wellness policy. You will not get suspended for smoking marijuana.
Yeah, it's just a fine, right?
Yeah, it's just a fine. You want to know why? Because Randy Orton, whenever he would want to get vacations, he would want to just smoke some marijuana, go take a failed drug test, and then be off for 30 days. So they made it so that way you can't do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Classic Randy Orton. The world champion, Randy Orton.
Speaking of Randy Orton, we'll get onto this real quick because I want to mention this real quick. So there was a little bit of a stat on Twitter between him and Bubba Ray Dudley. Bubba Ray Dudley tweeted a picture of him kind of, I don't know what you would call it, when you jump off the top rope but not off the turnbuckle, He was doing that a dive off the top rope, it looked like. He wasn't doing it off the turnbuckle, though. It was just off the rope. You know how AJ Styles...
springboard type
like
thing?
a springboard.
Okay.
That's the word I was looking for. And he wrote dive.
Yeah.
And Randy Orton said something to the effect of there's a difference between, a young, hungry, up and comer, diving into an old, out of shape vet falling. But Ray Dudley said something back to him, and then Randy Orton talks about how, they made $5 million in Europe, and they're closing out this European tour, and these indie guys are putting in maybe 150 people in seats, some armory in, the middle of nowhere. Basically ripping indie wrestlers and indie promotions a new one. I know that we have a little bit of a disagreement on this one.
Huge disagreement from the looks of it.
I don't agree with his point. I don't agree with him saying it, but he's not wrong because if these indie guys were good enough, WWE would find them and hire them. And I'm not saying that's essentially the case because they can only hire so many people. There's only so much programming, but there are a few very good promotions in the country that you can effectively be hired by. And, I have friends, obviously, Tom, who, wrestles in indies. So obviously, I know he's a very good wrestler, very talented. There's a lot of talented people in indies.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, they do get more attention for a reason, I feel. WWE gets more attention than indie promotions for a reason. Same thing goes for TNA and Ring of Honor and those types of promotions. There's a reason why they are bigger and more people watch them and follow them than random indie shows. That's just me anyway.
Yeah, well, I don't agree with that. I mean, I obviously agree that WWE has the most, money, viewers, whatever.
And there's a reason for that.
There is, but, not everybody is going to be Michael Jordan or, Wayne Gretzky. So people like wrestling, and maybe they don't have the ability to make it to the big leagues, but they still like doing it. And it's not even about making it there. And maybe they want to make it there, and they never will. But just the fact that they're going out there and doing it, I got to give a kudos to anybody who will step in the wrestling ring.
Sure.
And for Randy Orton, a guy, who says Randy Orton would have been brought to the WWE if his father wasn't, a big superstar in the 80s, or his grandfather wasn't a big wrestler. He was given, an opportunity that many people aren't given. Granted, Randy Orton's a very talented wrestler, good-looking guy, nice build. Like, he probably would have made it, sure, but you can't just disparage anybody who's not as good as you. It's ridiculous, man. Like, we're at Nassau Community College's radio station. I think, if somebody at Sirius Satellite Radio was like, community college radio, you guys stink. I bet you we are better than half the people on that radio, and we're just not given that opportunity yet.
I mean, I don't, like I said, I don't agree with what he said, but the bottom message of it, there is a lot of money going into there for a reason. They do have the top guys, most of the top guys in the world, not all of them, because there are a lot of great wrestlers in other promotions elsewhere. Kenny Omega comes to mind, Okada comes to mind, the Young Bucks come to mind.
There's a lot of great independent wrestlers.
Great wrestlers.
Even a guy that they've let go, Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, he's one of the best wrestlers in the world right now. And, not to say that every WWE wrestler is the best wrestler there is, but to me anyway, there is something to be said about traveling the world and becoming as big as they have become over the years. And it's because they put out continually a better product than anybody else. And I think that's at the bottom of it, that is the point of his statement, and it comes off as a very, very rude way to say it, and I will agree, he came off like a jerk.
What's the point? Why say it? What was his motivation?
I think he took it as a personal attack for some reason. I don't know why.
What's wrong with Randy Orton?
I don't know. I don't know why he took it as an attack.
Maybe he's compensating for something. I don't know why he has to just attack,
well,
random
I know
person.
That Bubba Ray mentioned something about how the House of Horrors match was dumb, which it was. I mean,
it was stupid. That was one of the worst matches I've seen. It was a comedic joke.
Yep.
So Randy Orton, he's a little baby.
Yeah, he is. On that we agree. He is a baby.
He's a giant baby. He used to throw temper tantrums. He used to break all this stuff in his hotels. He went AWOL when he was in the military as a kid. He's gotten suspended multiple times, divorced. He's not this guy who casts stones, whatever, the saying, thou shalt not cast stones in a glass house, or whatever the saying is. So he's not, he's been given so many opportunities because of who he is, and second chances because of who he is. If he wasn't Randy Orton's name, he'd be in the independent, still trying to make money right now, too. So I'm not even going to say it.
Moving to a happier topic.
Yes.
Daniel Bryan and his wife, Brie Bella, have their first child, a girl named Birdie.
I don't like the name, but
I mean, it's his kid, so name what you want.
I love Daniel Bryan. To me, he was the best thing in wrestling since I started rewatching it again. I started up again at WrestleMania 23. I watched in 95 to 97, then 99 to 2001, and then was kind of here and there. Would watch, 2004, but never really got back into it till WrestleMania 23. But Daniel Bryan's run was just some of my favorite stuff of all time in professional wrestling. A great, underdog story and an amazing in-ring worker. Yep. And I'm so happy for Daniel Bryan because he's had so many bad things happen to him recently. His father passing away, his in-ring career ending, and finally, now he's got a kid. So kudos.
Or is it ending? Because he did make a statement that when his WWE contract is up, if he and his wife decide his body is able to wrestle, he would like to do so. I think that's a little scary for him to do so. I mean, I know he desperately wants to wrestle again.
Yeah.
I don't know that he should. I don't know.
I know he's had concussions problems. Anything, with the brain is iffy. It's not like, he has leg problems.
He just had a kid. I'm not a doctor and I'm not him, so I don't want to give him advice.
He wants to do it.
He wants to do it. That's fine. But he just had a kid. Does he not want to, be able to be cognizant of whatever is going on with his kid? Does he not want to be part of that kid's life? If he gets one more big brain injury, and now he can't remember things, and now he can't really speak well, now he can't move well, how is he going to run around with his kid? Is he going to remember her first steps, be able to speak with his kid?
What is he?
Those are things I would think about.
Yeah, I wonder what he plans on doing. If he wants to have one match, I'd be all
if
for that.
If he wants to have one more match in like Japan or like Ring of Honor or something. See, for me, what I think, just to tie up two loose ends at one stone. And see, I don't know if you know where I'm going with this.
No.
One final match in Ring of Honor. Bryan Danielson versus CM Punk.
Oh!
Tie up both. That's it.
I'd give us $100 to watch that one.
Yep. Just to tie it both up and be done with it.
Yes.
And they both get their one last match in promotions that they were both good in. That's it.
I would love that. That sounds amazing, Anthony. I'm all for that.
I know that those guys are friendly still, I believe.
Yeah.
So,
nobody's not friendly with Bryan Danielson. He's like the nicest guy in the world. So
I would that's just me. You tie up both of them, you never have to hear CM Punk's name ever again chanted in WWE arenas.
Speaking of CM Punk, though,
he's going to be at the Eternal Con.
Yes, I just saw this. So he's going to be at it's going to be at the Nassau Coliseum in July. I want to say July 2nd, July 3rd.
Yep.
They're doing the comic convention, Eternal Con, which is awesome. I've gone 2 years in a row, and now CM Punk, who rarely does appearances, is going to be appearing at this convention. Maybe I'll ask him to come on the show for one, and maybe I'll ask him, would that be a possibility, like you versus Bryan, like down the line? I know you don't want to wrestle for WWE, but a Ring of Honor match with him would be, give him an hour time limit.
That's it.
It'd be amazing.
Go. Watch them both do it one more time, and then that's it. They both end.
Yeah, shake hands.
Double disqualification. No one wins, no one loses. I'm sure that's how they want to end it, right?
No. Maybe in WCW 2000. That's how it ends.
I don't know that we have much more time to even get into another topic. We have maybe a handful more. Simon Gotch appearing at Ring of Honor backstage. I don't really think
who cares?
Anybody cares about that.
And Jim Ross will be calling the UK title match this Saturday at NXT Takeover, which is going to be awesome. We'll have all the results from that pay-per-view and Backlash as well, and previewing next week's Raw on next week's show. For Justin Greenberg, he's Anthony Tartamella, and this is
Squared Circle.
Woo!
Bye, guys.
Ding, ding, ding.